hate to break it to you, Karn, but you were wrong. What's going on? RecBCQ signing on for another episode of Rexroom. I've never talked about this on the channel before, but I love Digimon. I've been into the franchise on and off since I was little. Recently, I really got back into the franchise when I came across a channel called Karn EX. If you like Digimon and want some awesome Digimon content, you should head to that channel. After this video, though. Don't leave me. Okay, anyways, some of my favorite videos of his are his What If videos. Who would have guessed? It was those videos that sparked this video, specifically his Digimon 02 partner swap video. The concept of the original video is exploring what it would be like if the Digidestined of 02 swapped partners. Specifically, Karn changed the evolution line of the Digimon to better match their new partner. Overall, I really liked his video. Please go and watch it. Both the video and Karn's channel will be linked in the description. However, there was one thing that bothered me. Vmon and Wormmon still evolve into their default champions. Karn did offer up Corgimon Blue as an alternative to XVmon, but not to toot my own horn, but I can do better. Today we'll be righting the wrongs of Karn's swaps. I reject his reality and insert my own. Let's do a partner swap. To start off, I want to cover why I made these changes. If you look at the personality of Ken and Davis, as well as their partner's champion forms, you can see that the Digimon reflect their partner's personality. I can boil down the difference between these two in one word: discipline. Ken and Davis are polar opposites in that regard. Ken is a gifted child, good at everything and does everything right. He is well behaved and listens to his family. Even in his alter ego as the Digimon Emperor, you can see the idea of discipline. He's just the one giving the orders now. Stingmon also reflects this. While it isn't blatant, Stingmon does give off the vibe of a soldier. Even in his fighting style, he goes for being quick and efficient. Ken and Stingmon are essentially a two-man task force. Davis, however, is the wild child. Throughout the story, we see Davis constantly taking risks, throwing himself into harm's way, letting his emotion guide his decision-making. You can even argue that the wild, uncontrollable fire of his courage Digimental reflects this. XVmon furthers this as he looks essentially like a wild animal. While he is humanoid, he has a lot of traits of a predator. His fighting style can show this as he is more like a brawler, unless you count the V-Laser. Davis and XVmon do whatever they need to do to win. No order involved. I kept all this in mind when picking my swaps. Now with all that explanation out of the way, let's get into the actual swaps. Starting off with Ken and Vmon, I chose for Vmon to digivolve into Sealsdramon. Normally a Commandramon Evo, I think that he fits perfectly in this situation. He's literally a soldier dragon. Other details like his armor and his blade for a weapon are reminiscent of Stingmon. The blue color scheme and dragon snout makes it feel like a logical evolution of Vmon as well. Honestly, I just think Ken and Sealsdramon look good as a pair. It would have a similar dynamic to Ken and Stingmon, except Sealsdramon might go a little overboard with the whole military thing. All this together makes me feel like Sealsdramon is a great partner for Ken in this universe. I struggled more with Davis and Wormmon. There aren't many insectoid champions that work well with Wormmon, let alone fall into all of my criteria. It took a while before I found something I really liked, but once I found it, I thought it was perfect. Mothmon. I know that this is already an armor evolution for Patamon. Mothmon is what Patamon turns into when using the Digimental of Knowledge. However, since Karn used Armored Digimon for champions in other swap videos, I have no problem using it here. That and I don't care. Mostly the latter. Either way, I think this works perfectly as an evolution for Wormmon. With Mothmon's extra arms and antennae, it flows well from Wormmon. The stinger especially feels like it works well. I can practically see it in the evolution sequence. Wormmon swings his back forward and we see his back stingers become that machine gun barrel. As for his relation to Davis, just look at him! He looks like he would be causing trouble and acting chaotic. He's like a little kid going around and breaking things. Just this time they have a machine gun. Don't worry about it. It just feels so perfect to me. Imagine after Wormmon evolves for the first time, David would go up to him and get all excited. Mothmon would get excited and accidentally start firing off his machine gun stinger. We would get this funny visual of Davis dancing around trying to avoid the bullets. There would be a perfect balance between humor and action that would make Mothmon a great addition to the team. Now for the Jogress. If we're sticking with existing Digimon, I would choose the same thing that Karn did in his video. Dino Beamon to Grand Kuwagamon with Grandest Kuwagamon as the fighter mode stand-in. I still think it works. Obviously, Sealsdramon and Mothmon far less resemble Dino Beamon than Stingmon and XVmon. I know that. But to be fair, Jogresses don't always look exactly like a combination of the Digimon it's made up of. Look at Shakuamon. Granted, I don't like Shakuamon all that much, but that's besides the point. Either way, I still think this is the best option for the two. You may have noticed that I said if when referring to using existing Digimon for the Jogress. That's because I think that's boring. It's not like I'm faulting Karn for that since budgeting is a thing, but since I'm bad at allocating funds, I had some art commissioned for this new Jogress pair. For these Digimon, I commissioned the wonderful artist of HLR Art. He helped me take my cluster of unassorted ideas and make some dope Digimon. Starting off with the direct Jogress of Sealsdramon and Mothmon, we have Swarmdramon. Swarmdramon is a lone ranger in the digital world. Previously part of the D Brigade, he was dishonorably discharged after running rampant during a mission. Seen as more of a liability than an asset at this point, Swarmdramon had to become a vigilante in order to protect the weak in the digital world, despite it being with rather unrefined methods. Swarmdramon is all about heavy hits, whether it be through ranged attacks with his Gatling gun or all-out brawling with his forearms. He even will use his Gatling gun as a large club, which can also do serious damage. Due to his large stature and heavy artillery, he is too heavy to use his wings, which he now uses as a cloak to protect him from the elements. In recent times, he travels the harshest terrain looking for Digimon that may be in trouble. As for the design of Swarmdramon, he's supposed to be similar to Paildramon while still being his own thing. More importantly, he's supposed to pull more from Insectoid Digimon, since Paildramon and Imperialdramon were more dragon-like. Multiple aspects of his design are more Insectoid: his forearms, his bug wings / cape, as well as his goggles, which are supposed to mimic bug eyes, similar to the Pokemon Flygon. Some outside inspiration was Mothman, not Mothmon, as well as the aforementioned Flygon. Even the Ben 10 alien Blitzwolfer was used for the proportions. Overall, this Digimon feels like the perfect chaotic counterpart to Paildramon. Moving on to the Mega, this Digimon takes on a different personality while still being just as chaotic. Here we have Maverickdramon. Maverickdramon is a high-ranking member of the D Brigade, much to the dismay of some of his colleagues. While immensely capable with hundreds of successful missions under his belt, he's a loose cannon and often throws off both his enemies and his allies. A showboat in the purest sense, he often prolongs missions due to his desire to look cool. An inspiration to younger low-ranking members and a nuisance to the elites. Maverickdramon commonly finds himself at odds with Darkdramon, since the latter believes that one day Maverickdramon will slip up at the cost of many lives. However, since that has not yet happened, the overconfident Digimon stays in the brigade. As for his fighting style, he combines melee and long-range attacks, similar to Swarmdramon. However, he is far more agile and capable of quick maneuvers. He easily dodges out of the way of enemy attacks while landing some of his own. While he most commonly uses his fists, he can also attack using energy beams and the sort. He is less focused on making fewer, more damaging attacks, but landing a flurry of smaller blows that add up quickly. In terms of design, I'm pretty sure many of you can guess through the name alone what the main inspiration was. When I was thinking of how I wanted to represent chaotic in this design, I thought immediately of Maverick from Top Gun. From that, I decided I wanted an action hero vibe to him, which HLR did perfectly. This Digimon looks like he'd be ready to jump into action at a moment's notice. Some of the best parts of his design is how it incorporates a Top Gun aesthetic into it. Of course, there is the flight suit, the helmet, and the wings resembling the wings of a jet. One of my favorite details HLR put in there was to use Davis and Ken's crest as the badges Navy pilots would get. I believe there is a more official name to them, but I can't remember what it is at the moment. As for the other design inspirations, I had suggested that since Mothmon was the inspiration for Swarmdramon, Maverickdramon should pull from the kaiju Mothra. You can see that in the details in the hair on the helmet, the insectoid legs, and the marvelous bright color scheme. Pulling more from kaiju in general, the protagonist from the manga Kaiju number 8 was inspiration as well. Together it made for an awesome Navy pilot Digimon that could take on whatever challenge the Digidestined may face. With that, I've covered all I want to in terms of this new swap. However, that doesn't mean I'm done with this idea. I did have other thoughts when working on this video. To be more specific, I want to explore what it would have been like if Karn kept the Jogress partners the same. In his video, Karn made the pairs Yoli with Cody and TK with Kari. Well, this is fine. I personally think the pairings that would come out of keeping the pairs the same would be interesting. If you all want me to, I can commission more artists to interpret what their Jogresses could be. You don't want to leave Maverickjamon all by his lonesome, do you? That would make him sad. Again, let me know if you want to see me do that. I'll only do it if you all show interest. So please, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyways, I hope you liked today's video. With the amount of Digimon videos I've been watching lately, I was really excited to throw my hat in the ring. Again, I have to thank HLR Art for the wonderful designs he made for this video. It was always a highlight of my day when we would discuss ideas for these Digimon. So, if you haven't done so already, please check out his art. As well as that, while the whole gimmick of this video was correcting Karn's mistake, that was really just a bit. I love Karn's videos. Not only was his channel what inspired me to do this video, but it was the reason I got back into the series as a whole. So Karn, if you're seeing this, thank you for all the content you make. It's because of you that I got back into the franchise that brought me so much joy as a kid. Keep up the good work. As for you viewers, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when we release new videos. With all that out of the way, this is RecBCQ signing off.